And hello, everybody. It is Thursday, February 3rd. It's another weekly real estate update time. I'm Mark Newstater with eXp Realty, along with
Jaden Bax, Avenue Financial. Thanks for having me, Mark. Where did January go?
That's a very good question. I asked myself that 2 days ago. I'm like, what the heck? It was New Year's a month ago. It was just a crazy, quick month of busy real estate market. So we're going to get into that right now. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to give you the weekly stats. I'm going to give you the January wrap up. I'm actually going to go live on our Matrix MLS system, and I'm going to actually show you how few listings there are. And I'm going to show you something that happened January. When we came into the month of January, our rules changed in how we report sold and pending listings. So we're going to show you exactly why prices are going through the roof. So that's all going to happen here in the next few minutes. Jaden's going to have his stats as well. So let's take a look at our weekly stats. Now, for the past week, 260 new listings, but 371 sales, 237 pendings, total of 608, net difference of plus 348. So, very similar to last week. So a client asked me, I think it was last week that Jaden and I are working with, what's going on in the market? Is it still as tight as it was? And I said, I think it's a little worse. I said that last week now that I'm thinking of it, but it's the same. We're still having multiple offers. We're trying to get houses bought for our clients, and so it's a challenge. But we're working through it, and there are some great ways to do that. So reach out to me if you have questions on how do you get an offer accepted in these types of markets. 18 price reductions, 936 total detached listings. Now, I'm going to show you when we go to our live Matrix MLS system. Now that's total active and pending. When I took out the pendings, and what a pending means now, I'll get into this rule change now, I guess. When we have a pending now, my dog just came in the room. So anyway, when we have a pending now, it has to be marked on our system as pending, which means conditionally sold. In the past, they could stay as active. Okay, so if it stayed as active, that meant you still have to allow showings. Now, when they're pending, that means that you're conditionally sold. You don't have to accept showings. I'm going to show you that in a second. Total of 2,663 listings. So we're similar to last week. Stuff is just selling really quickly. Thank you, Captain Obvious. All right. All right. So this week, last year, we're up 83% in sales over the same time last year, 30% up in listings, but we have that variance again, right? Look at our total active listings last year at this time, 4,106, 2,654 as of yesterday. Our pendings, again, crazy increases from last year at this time, and that's resulted in price increases even from December. I'm going to get into that in our January wrap up here in a second. It's crazy just from December the way the prices have jumped. Average price gone up like crazy. Again, we're going to get into that in a moment. Days on market at 36. Okay, so let's get into the January review. I'm going to just paraphrase a lot of this for you. When this is done, it's going to stay on my page. So go back, watch it. You'll be able to slow it down, pause it, and read through all this stuff. But essentially what's happening is we had a 2% increase in prices just from December because we just don't have inventory on the market. So we're up 12% year over year for total price. That means detached, row townhouse, semi-detached apartment condos, right? The biggest gains were on the detached sector at 14%. We had a sale to new listing ratio of 81%. What does that mean? So we had 2,476 new listings come onto the market. 81% of them are selling. That includes things like apartment condos, which in the past few years just haven't been selling at all. So you can see that detached benchmark pricing jumped $12,000 from December. From a month ago, it jumped $12,000. So it's a 2% gain from December, 14% year over year. And if we go to this next slide here, so our row prices went up. So they didn't have as much activity in January as detached, but they still went up 9%. Apartment condos, again, that activity leveled off, but they still are a 2% gainer from year over year. Airdrie prices are 3%. These are just some highlights. Okay, so reach out to me for your particular community, your particular segment. Airdrie prices are up 3% from December. Cochrane detached benchmark price up to 512.9 for Cochrane, right? Like, this is just craziness. So I wanted to actually put this is a copy and paste right from the Krebs press release. Okotoks has not faced conditions, and when they say conditions, they mean lack of inventory like this since 2006. So when I say to people, it's the best time in recent memory, yeah, that's 16 years ago, since it's been this good. Their detached benchmark price rose to 515.1. Okotoks, many years ago, was this little bedroom community, and you kind of lived there if you didn't want to live in Calgary. Well, now it's a real option for people that want to have a little bit more of a small town feel. I love Okotoks. I love Airdrie too. Love going down. I'm a little closer to Okotoks now, but we love going down there. It's a great community, and they are as on fire as Calgary is. Okay, so that is kind of our market update. And now, Jaden, over to you. I'm going to let you do interest rates, and then we're going to go live to our Matrix MLS system.
Yeah, no, like this week, I'm not going to take too much time. Same thing as last week. We're continuing to see interest rates go up slightly on the fixed side. March, you're going to see those variable rates go up in March. It just is what it is. We know that there's going to almost certainly be a quarter point rise in the overnight rate, which controls prime rate. So really, interest rates, you're going to see over 2022, there's going to be a slow movement up. But when you really think about it, what's happening is we're getting back to pre-pandemic pricing, right? So, right, like we're getting back into that when directly prior to the pandemic, the average 5-year fixed interest rate was high 2s, low 3s for a high ratio mortgage. That's the direction we're heading. So, there's a lot of panic out there about interest rates are rising. I've got to get in the market before interest rates we're just going back to normal interest rates, right? So nothing to worry about. And I'm not going to take up too much time because I know you got more great information. Let's go over to that.
All right, sounds good. So we're going to stop that screen share. And now I'm going to, there's a little bit of new technology today. We're going to share our screen and we're going to share this tab. All right, so there's our matrix screen. Okay, so I'm going to start this over again. So I go to my home screen here, and I'm going to search residential. And as we do, for the sake of benchmarking, we're going to search detached properties in Calgary. Okay, and there's no price. So if you can see up in the upper right hand of the screen here, I haven't set a price guideline. I'm just looking for detached properties in Calgary. So now I'm going to click the detached button here. So there are only 956 active or pending, meaning conditionally sold, as I mentioned earlier, with the rule change now in our market, 956 detached listings. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to take off pending because I don't want to see conditionally sold homes. I just want to see homes that are actually active, and I'm going to speak to that in a second. Okay, look at what happened to our number down here, 626. So there are only 626 homes on our market in the Calgary area that are detached. Okay, for fun, let's do that for Airdrie. And Airdrie, 25. Okay, so let's add in conditionally sold because who knows, they may come back to the market. Maybe the financing doesn't go through our home inspection. 45 total Airdrie detached listings. And again, when I take off conditionally sold, there's only 25 in Airdrie. Let's do that for Cochrane. Okay, in Cochrane, there are 13. 13. Let's go to Okotoks. A little spin around our whole area. 19. Oh, wow. Okotoks, you got 19. Let's add in the pendings in Okotoks, 27. Okay, so the reason that I'm doing this is for two reasons. Number one, if you're a seller. Again, there hasn't been a time like this. Really, I personally feel like in our history of living in Calgary, because although there was limited inventory back in 06, 07, I personally, from all the stories I've heard, there weren't the $50,000, $100,000 unconditional over asking, unconditional offers happening in that type of market. Let's say you want to go to Strathmore. Strathmore, there's 12, right? So it's very clear. If you are a seller right now, and I hope that was, because I had to look at that other screen. I hope that was easy to see. But that kind of gives you a picture, a live, as we were doing it. You saw me typing it out. That is really what's going on in the market right now in terms of lack of inventory. Time and time again, I think I've now written 3 offers with one buyer. Haven't been able to get them accepted yet. He wants to do a home inspection. That's great. You know what? If it takes him needing to wait a little bit longer so he feels comfortable, that's okay. He doesn't need to move tomorrow. So that's my thing. And this is going to seem very counterintuitive. Like, hey, Mark, you're in sales. You need to make money. I'm like, no. I need to do what's best for my clients. So if you need to have a home inspection in your offer, have a home inspection in your offer. And if the right house comes along and they're open and willing to sell it to you, it'll happen. I firmly believe in that. And there's other things we do. You can message me for my little secret sauce of how we do our offers when we know we're in multiple offers. So anyway, that was that was a lot. My TV turned on for some reason. If anyone knows why Google TVs turn on just randomly, can you please message me? I would love to know why. So yeah, I mean that is Dayton. I mean I don't know if you've ever seen that before, but that was I wanted to do that because I think it's really shocking, right?
I have no idea what you realtors do. I've got no idea about any of that back end stuff. that was good for me to see very clear. And when you say shocking, it is absolutely shocking. Like I think of Airdrie as like I'm a small town guy. That's the city for me, right? And to have 25 active listings in the detached space, that is unbelievable.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. I mean, Airdrie is a city of, I haven't seen the census from last year, but I know they were north of 75,000. They're probably 80,000 people now. I mean, think about that, right? You're trying to get a home in Airdrie, and it's hard to do, but it's not impossible. There are still people winning these bidding wars. You just have to be prepared to offer over asking. So your mentality, like I'm working with a client, I'm going to close off today with this. Working with a client who was last looking for homes 2 years ago, it just didn't work out at the time. They're looking at the market again. And he said to me, there's a beautiful home, had a suite. It was up in Livingston, newer area, almost about a 1 or 2 year old home, listed at $550. And he said, well, it was listed at 600. He wanted to offer 550. And I said, no offense, but don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. It's just not going to happen. This isn't 2 years ago. This isn't even a year ago. I mean, a year ago, you might have been able to get it for asking, but that's just not the case now because it's called supply and demand, baby. So reach out to me if you have questions. If you're on the buying side, selling side, if you're on the mortgage refinance side, give Jaden a ring. And that's about it for today.
There's a lot of info. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you here next week. We'll update you again. We're probably going to do that live thing a little bit more often because I think it gives you some context as to what's going on. So enjoy the Chinook, the warm weather that's blowing in this weekend, and we'll see everybody here next week.